afternoon. We are at RootsTech 2025 live with our friend Tom Reed from Family Search, and also, yes, very good friends. This is going to be such a candid and authentic interview conversationally. And he introduced us to these amazing men, the Brothaz, and it ends with a Z. And so, Tom, can you just tell us a little bit about how you came to meet these gentlemen? And you know what? Before you start, because you threw me off a little bit, I'm Janice Cross-Gilliard from Speak On It and History and Genealogy Conversations with Janice and Chericana. And this is my amazing co-host. She's having too much fun.
Chericana Feliciano, and yeah, we're here from Speak On It. Again, my first time here. Having a blast. Having a blast, and I have to say, I was walking on the floor and I saw some black folks, and I was like, oh,
People.
So I'm excited to learn more about the Brothaz.
Okay. And so I learned about these gentlemen through Tom Reed. And Tom, would you just make a brief introduction for us, please?
Yeah. So Brothaz in the Foyer is their podcast name. And there's 6 of these brothers. So one of them happens to be the son of the Oggs past president Sherry Kennedy. So her son Andy
Sherry, yes.
kind of helps lead these guys in their podcast conversations. And they just are, they're black LBS men who just like to have conversations with folks. And like in our church, like, you go to worship in the chapel, but you go to the foyer to have conversations, right? So that's why they're Brothaz in the Foyer. Some things to talk about that you wouldn't necessarily talk about at okay. And so I've been following them since they launched their podcast a year ago. Has it been over a year?
Just a year.
Just a year. Just hit a year. And they're just fun to hang with. And I'm not the tallest in the group.
So who's the tallest in the group?
So
This guy right here.
like I said, yeah.
So would you introduce him first?
So this is Will Kennedy, native of Naptown, Indianapolis.
Let's know where y'all are from.
Yeah. Isaiah Gray.
So I'm actually, my roots are in Kansas City, Missouri. That's where I'm from, all my family. That's where I was born. But I was raised in Atlanta, Georgia.
Got it. Okay, cool.
And
My name is Crispin Banks. I'm originally from Dallas, Texas. My family is all from Dallas as well as Jackson, Mississippi on my mom's side. So yeah, we got some Mississippi Delta and we got some Dallas, Texas.
So those who remember last year, RootsTech did kind of a pre-video, and they were talking about, they were revealing, like they were having like these older people and having things revealed to them by their younger families.
Right, I love that.
Kristen's mother was the black woman in that video. And it was just great to have their family. I've known them. Kristen's brother cut my hair back in COVID. He come to the house and cut my hair, all that kind of stuff. And so musically talented, very musically talented. And they all hoop, yes.
So I have a question. So who's into genealogy, and then how long have you been doing your family history?
I am. My mom was the first person that got me into it. It's been about 8 years.
Okay, and how far have you been able to trace back?
Back to the 1500s.
Wow.
I'm impressed.
Where are your folks from?
So mainly from Nigeria, Congo, and then also I have some Scottish, some European, so ancestors.
And so, Tom, we don't want you to explain. So how long have you been doing your research? And how far back?
A little while. Oh my goodness. So I'll answer the second question first, because y'all need to help me. I'm still stuck in Marengo County, Alabama, and my great grandfather. I cannot get past it.
Have you used the full text index search?
His name is Edward. And that's the thing. Since I'm a program manager for Family Search, I help all these other people use these tools.
Wow. We have to help you out.
Y'all need to help me out.
No, but we've all been there. We've all been there. You help other people and you still have your own group.
So I started, and again, we are all, as men, we're Latter-day Saints, members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And so I first got exposed to family history when I first joined the church in 1991. But it wasn't, but then I left, I went on a mission for the church, I came back home in 1997, and that's when I really wanted to learn more. And so I had these conversations with my grandmother, I never recorded them, never wrote the stuff down, and then she passed.
Rookie mistake.
A rookie mistake, right? Rookie mistake. And so since I've been at Family Search since 2013, and that's when I've really kind of dug deep. I finally took my DNA test in 2016. Found out I'm Nigerian.
Nice.
What I love about Ancestry is when they update the ethnicity estimates, I just get blacker and blacker and blacker every time. Like more Nigerian, more Congolese, less Scottish. Okay.
Well, thank you for sharing, Tom.
Actually, can you share with listeners, because a lot of folks don't know, what is the connection between LDS and family history?
Oh, okay. So one of the key tenets of our faith is the belief that families are eternal. Not just, when you get married, it's not just till death do us part. It's not just for this life only, but it goes beyond the grave. And because of that, we feel a sacred responsibility to connect to our kin who have passed on, to know our ancestors, because we will know them in the afterlife, after we pass. And so the church has been very strong since 1894 into family history and helping people connect with their genealogy. So and since we started doing it and developed all these resources, we want to give it to the world free of charge because we feel like everyone should have the opportunity to discover their ancestors and know their own heritage.
I refer a lot of people to FamilySearch.org because people do tell me from time to time I can't afford it. So
Right.
Thank you for breaking that down, because I didn't know. So
Yep.
gotta ask questions.
I appreciate that.
So we'll move on to you. How did you get into? Are you in the genealogy? Where are your folks from?
So he put me on the spot too. I'm supposed to help him next week. I told him, I did a podcast with him, and I told him, I was like, okay. I said, when do you want to get started? He's like, we'll get started soon. We're working on some stuff. I mean,
Oh, so you're looking for some stuff now?
He's looking for some stuff now.
I feel like I hit kind of a brick wall. So my mom started actually in 2015. I was baptized into the church in 2010. Went served a mission. My mom came back, and that's when she really started getting into genealogy. And 2015, she created a family search, and so I just started connecting dots from what she had already connected. So we've gone back to like the mid 1800s. We've gotten back so far, but now I feel like we just kind of hit up that brick wall.
Yeah.
I need some more assistance in terms of getting past it on both sides, mom and dad side.
And where your folks from?
So Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay.
Both.
They've been
And
down
then-
there for like generations.
Yeah.
Oh,
So from
wow.
Oklahoma is where like so their parents, or at least my mom's side, and then they uprooted to Kansas City, and then that's just kind of where we sprouted out from. So the majority of our roots are in Missouri.
So, surprise for me, my mom is who got me started in genealogy. She's been heavy in it for at least a decade, if not more, just trying to find names, not necessarily of those who have passed on. What her focus has been more than anything is getting everybody alive tied together, while also looking for those who have passed on as well. So with her, I know she's done a lot of work in just trying to make sure that everybody's connected, first and foremost. So she's building her tree based off of the family members that she knew personally and knew of, and their descendants. If that makes sense. So she's slowly going up while building everything down at the same time. And so she's done a lot of the genealogical work for our family, and what I've been is the legman. So she'll get names, she'll find these people, and as Tom was kind of alluding to, in our church we believe that marriage is eternal, that families are eternal, and so because of that, we know that there are certain things, we call them ordinances, that people need to return to Heavenly Father, return to heaven. Like one of them, for example, being baptized. If you're not actually baptized in church, that's one of the things that you need to what we call the celestial kingdom of heaven, right? But sometimes people pass on without being able to do that for whatever reason. Maybe they never knew, maybe they didn't really decide to, maybe they passed on really young, things like that, right? So in our temples, we do that work for those who have passed on, which is another reason why genealogical work is so important, to find your people. Because like you said, when we pass on, we expect to see them. And if they haven't, or did not have the opportunity physically to do those things in our temples, we can do them in behalf of those members. So what she's done is she's gathered all the names of men who've passed on, women who've passed on, and my wife and I, who are married, we we've gone and done, some of those things for those ancestors for us. And so the belief is, on the other side, if they choose to follow in that way, the work is done and it's accepted. And everybody has their own, agency to choose what they want to or not. But if they choose to follow in that way, that work is done.
Wow, that's amazing.
Our belief, and that's why it's so important. So my mom has done so much, and what I want to get started this year at RootsTech, kind of like Isaiah, is I want to build my tree.
Okay.
And I haven't done the DNA thing. I'm really excited. I want to do that
do
this
it.
weekend. I want to do that this weekend. I want to know that. So I haven't done that. So I'm really excited to do that.
Where are your folks from?
My mom is from, like I said, Jackson, Mississippi area, but her family, her father is from the Mississippi Delta area, Mississippi, Louisiana.
Okay.
Her mother, my grandmother, is from Florida. So we've got people from Florida, and my grandmother is part Native American as well. So that's made it a little challenging to kind of go down a certain degree.
It's challenging, but it's not impossible.
No, not impossible. Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
not impossible.
Oh no, yeah. So she's been doing a lot of that work. My father's from Texas and Oklahoma. So they've been a lot easier to find because they were in Texas and Oklahoma.
Oh, wow. That's always a blessing when that happens.
It's a blessing. So we haven't made it all the way back to slavery yet, as far as how far we've gotten. But my mom and I will now be helping, making steps towards that.
Nice. Do y'all do family reunions with your mom? Like,
Yes.
a lot of
My mom doesn't
like
host
it.
we do.
My work is done. I the other stuff.
We do have family reunions, especially my dad's side, the bank side. We have them every year.
Oh, excellent. Oh,
So one other question, we want to respect everyone's time, is Sherikhan and I, my genealogy, research on our family history has really changed us and had a major impact. Can each of you just take a quick moment to share what you believe the impact has been as far as researching and coming together and hosting the podcast? What is the main impact that you would like to share?
I think for me, learning about my ancestors, learning what they went through, learning about their occupations. Like most of my ancestors were farmers, sharecroppers, own their own land, entrepreneurs, and it really empowered me. I'm an entrepreneur myself, and so I really have drawn from my ancestors, and I'm extremely grateful that they have those stories that I'm able to access. So.
It's time we're looking here for
The impact family history. Well, I'll put it, my father just passed, right? And I'm just now really starting to realize all the traits that he had that are in me, right? And so for me now, it's like, how do I capture and document that for my children and about them? And I told my son, walk through the hall, I'm like, you look just like my dad. Just walking through the hall, I was like, who is this man in the house?
all of a sudden, you're just like,
he's
okay.
25, and stuff like that. But I'm like, what? And so now it's more important for me to see what are the traits and things that, I was telling my daughter, you are like your grandmother in so many ways, and I want you, to exemplify some of her good traits and things like that. So that's what family history's done for me, is to look at the people that have been close to me, who have handed me down my mannerisms and things that I do, and then just try and accentuate that, and try and take the positive from them and put it out in my own life and with my children.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you. No, seriously. Mine is, I don't even know if I would be as engaged in family search and family history if it wasn't for the spiritual aspect of it for me. Because that's what brought me into it. I had no idea about any of this until I got spiritually inclined. So I started with my spiritual DNA, knowing that I'm a child of God.
Right.
And then branching out from there, I've learned about the significance that our Heavenly Father has for us, and we wanted to join families and how we're all brothers and sisters from the beginning of time.
It comes down to it.
And there's a great call for us to do that work. The scriptures say we shall be saviors on Mount Zion, and Crispin shared how we're able to fulfill that in terms of being members of the church or Christians in general by doing family history. So that's one side of it, and then the second side created me having a great pride in just me being black. know, being a black person, being a black man, and having pride in our people, our struggles, knowing what we went through, but the great significance of our culture and how beneficial we have been to this world in general. So I've gotten a great pride in just being black, and I just want to carry that forward.
For me, it's the spiritual aspect of it, and not just from a faith standpoint. It's the spiritual aspect of just being connected to my people. I find strength in knowing who my ancestors were and knowing their stories. Just knowing what they went through, knowing what they persevered through, knowing what they were able to succeed in, knowing the different things that they, contributed to the world has been helpful for me to know my potential and what I can do, not only in this world, but moving forward as well. Like I said, on the spiritual aspect. So the genealogy work that my mother is doing is invaluable because she's connecting me to those people while reminding me that I need to do my own work in that as well. But connecting me to my family is so huge in our family. It means a lot to be connected in that way. We love strongly to the point where we have members of our family who aren't blood, but are family, and they're tied to us as well. So it doesn't take much for someone to be family in our family. And so that's just the way we love. So knowing who we're connected to and what they've done has just been huge in my life, and I want to give that to my children as well. Growing up here in Utah, it's not as diverse as Dallas or Alabama, where my wife is from. And so we want to give them the stories of their people to know no matter where they are, there's potential in their DNA physically as well as their heavenly potential as well being children.
So the Brothaz and Tom, especially, thank you for introducing us to them, and we are so thankful for this experience and welcome. We hope you feel at home, and welcome to Speak on It, History and Genealogy Conversations with Janice and Jericho. Thank you. Thank you.
An honor